Hello and welcome to the PHP. I'm Booker. That would be Perez. How you doing?
I am good. A lot to get to today, especially topics that appeal to the masses, such as the Super Bowl, the Winter Olympics, and of course, Kanye West, who is dominating social media and what people are talking about. We're also going to get into Wendy Williams, Adele, and more. But first, how are you?
Very tired after the Super Bowl last night. Not used to having so many things going on a Sunday and drinking and prepping and eating, and I'm beat. That's how I am. We got our puppies still. One of the puppies came back, which is something that's new for us. The dog, the owner wasn't ready for it, or the roommate said no to it. I'm like, this sounds like a bad situation. So we took her back. So we've got this puppy till at least March, which I'm thrilled about. I love this dog, but it's crazy. Like people, you're like, okay.
Well,
So other than that, I'm good.
All is good here. I'm celebrating my son's birthday this week, so excited about that.
Got a haircut?
9 years old. Yeah, I got a haircut. And I love that my son, what's the word, showed initiative and desire to watch the Super Bowl.
Oh,
like
really?
He's like, I want to watch the Super Bowl. And I'm like, all right, I don't really care, but I'll turn it on for you. Like I literally had zero desire to watch it, even though an LA team was playing, mainly because I wasn't hyped for the halftime show. I didn't really care for the halftime show. But let me talk about it. First, the national anthem. The country music singer, Mickey Guyton. I thought that was one of the best national anthems ever.
I almost fell asleep during it.
Really? Well, I loved it. I thought that she was amazing. It was, not trying to be like Fergie during the national anthem. So she didn't like make it really different, but she just did it so well. And I love the choir singing with her. Loved it. I'll get to the game in a second. But let's talk about the halftime show. I wasn't excited for it. And then when I saw it, I'm like, this was awesome. It was great. I loved it.
I don't get why you wouldn't be excited for it. I mean, Dre and Snoop and Eminem and Kendrick Lamar and Mary J. I mean, those are all exciting people to me. I was really living here in California, hearing those notes, ding, 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 ding. People lose their mind. You go to Coachella, you go to any event, you hear California love, and people lose their mind. So I was looking forward to seeing that live, and I thought it delivered. I thought it was great.
Well, I don't think we've ever seen a few rappers headline the Super Bowl before. Right. So I didn't know if they could, or I didn't know what they would do. I was like, oh, I want like a J-Lo Shakira. Like I want like a spectacle. And I wasn't sure we were going to get that. And then we got that. I'm like, they really delivered. So I thought it was great. I thought everybody shined except for 50 Cent. Yeah. He was like out of play. Like I don't know what was off of him, but I know that Madonna was watching it from the comfort of her home and mocking him privately.
That's funny.
He loves to talk shit about Madonna, but
he loves to talk shit about everybody. So if it comes at him this time, so be it.
He really was the weakest link. Everybody else was, it was like he was out of breath or something. I don't know.
Well, he was upside down. I mean, let's give him a break on that.
Well, he was also just uncomfortable. Like, I don't know. He just did not feel.
Yeah. His part didn't pop like he thought it would.
No. But everybody else was amazing. Even Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I love Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar is amazing, but I wasn't familiar with that song. Was that a new song?
No, that's probably one of his only quote hits.
Really? It is? Oh God.
He doesn't have a lot of, he has a lot of like hip hop hits, you know what I mean? But when I say hits, I mean like songs that everybody knows.
Well, I didn't know that one, but I liked it.
I was just saying that's probably his most known song too. So
I know that "Be Humble" song, or that.
Oh, that's right. He does that one as well. That's right.
That one's like a hit. Anyways, he was amazing. He's always amazing though. I'm like, what a great performer he is, and everybody else. Although Eminem only did one song, and I was like, You kind of want a little bit more from Eminem, although that's a great song to do, Lose Yourself.
Well, I
It was all like
understand why,
building towards that.
but he wasn't, and it's kind of the best song, you know what I mean? Out of all of them, it's the one that gets you hype. I mean, it's the one athletes use to get themselves hyped. But he's not from Los Angeles, and I thought Mary was too long too. No more drama. No one cares about that song out here. It's, I would have stopped her after whatever she did first. But when she went into the ballady thing, I was like, all right, we went too long here. But other than that, I thought it was good. I mean, and even her part was good. It didn't, it didn't bother me. I thought she was a little too long compared to the songs you could play.
Loved it. And then the game, how exciting. It was close, the game, and we came through at the very end. And who would have thought? I read somewhere that this is the second win in franchise history. Does that include when they were in St. Louis or just here in Los Angeles?
I don't know when they won last. I assume it would be in St. Louis. I don't think they won here in Los Angeles. I don't believe so.
Yeah, because they haven't been here that long.
Yeah. Well, they were in the Super Bowl here 4 years ago. They just didn't win.
That's exciting. They're a pretty good team then.
Yeah.
No?
They're the champs. There you go.
They won.
two 4 seeds. Yeah. I feel badly for the city of Cincinnati, because like here in LA, when a team wins, no one gives a shit. I mean, really, no one cares. There's not a
well, I saw all these videos of idiots downtown, like looting and being
like idiots. 200 people, but they would have been idiots anyhow. But still, like they're like, I'm watching the local news. They're like, people are gathering downtown. I'm like, there's 200 people there. In other cities, if Cincy would have won, every person, and I'm serious, every person in the city would have been out and would have been celebrating. It would have mattered. Like here in LA, it's like, ho hum, no one cares about football in Los Angeles. They care about the Raiders. That's it. So it's not as fun. It doesn't have that, yay, we won, the whole city's celebrating. No one gives a shit. Crickets.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Whatever. That's just typical LA. It's the thing people don't like about LA, but it was 85 degrees here yesterday. It was 20 in Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Cincinnati.
It was 86 degrees. I noticed at one point. It was so hot. So, oh my God. I have been engrossed in this one story about that Russian figure skater, Kamila Valieva, at the Olympics. Have you been paying attention to that?
A little bit. Like she wasn't, explain it a little bit. Yes.
Okay.
I've been watching a lot of figure skating.
I've seen you were giving some commentary. You're a hater.
Well, I got flagged by Instagram. I had to take it down.
You did?
Yeah.
For posting it on your Instagram story?
Well, I was pointing it at the TV set, and that's NBC's content, and I know better, so I had to.
No, but I get that. But even on Instagram story, they're taking that.
They content. Yeah, they nailed me. I was shocked too.
I would understand
on a story, not on my feed, on a story.
Yeah, I would understand if it's a feed post, but that's just crazy. Oh my God, I'm upset. Like that's content that's gonna go away in 24 hours. Like,
yeah, it was silly. Whatever. I mean, look, they didn't freeze my account or anything. They just said that somebody else owns the copyright, and could you pull it down? And it was almost a question: could you pull it down? And I was like, yeah, and I did, and that was it. And I got to thank you back, and that was it. So.
That's weird.
Yeah, right.
Anyways, she's 15 years old. She's from Russia. Russia is not allowed to compete because of the state-sponsored organized doping that went down back in 2014. But they're still competing, just not as Russia. And they can't play the Russian national anthem, and they don't, represent Russia. They're representing the Russian Olympic Committee, some bullshit thing, some bullshit workaround. Anyways, this 15-year-old girl tested positive in December, so a month and a half ago, for this drug that many believe is performance enhancing. It helps with endurance, allegedly. It helps with lung capacity to breathe more. It's a heart medication for angina. And it is in the list of banned substances. So on a very basic level, even if it doesn't help with performance, okay, it's still a banned substance that you're not allowed to take. And this girl took it. And then yesterday on Sunday, this independent 3-judge panel looked at her case, and I don't have all the details, but I believe they are letting her perform, but it's just so stupid. They're letting her perform, but I think her win could be overturned in the future.
Right. Yeah. It's like Russia already has an asterisk, and now she's getting a double asterisk. It's like, it's just stupid. The whole thing's kind of silly. I don't think it's really this worthy to lead the show with so much stuff going on.
Oh my God. It's just enraging to me. It's like, and upsetting to all of the other athletes that are clean and that don't break the rules. It's wild. It's wild. If I were Team USA women's figure skating, and actually all of the other female figure skaters, I would boycott. I would say we've collectively decided that we're not going to skate unless she does not.
Well, they're there to skate, so I wouldn't worry about what she's doing. I would just pitch.
But you're skating against somebody that broke the rules.
Well, yeah, and it should be dealt with. But I'm not going to give up on my dream and go somewhere and not do what I meant to do because somebody else cheated. I would say that person cheated. Whatever. I'm going to go out there and skate. These kids, I mean, they've been training their entire lives to do this. I'm not going to sit there and worry about somebody else.
No. The reason that they gave for letting her go on is that, she doesn't have enough time to present her case and yada, yada, yada. And that she's only 15 years old. And that's considered a, quote, protected person, meaning that she's not capable of knowing everything.
No, she's just looking for the loophole, but somebody was trying to cheat. Typical.
Anyways, super upsetting, super lame.
Did you see the Canadians in the orange the other night? I think it was the free dance. They looked like two popsicles out there. It was the most hideous outfit ever. And then they, at the end, they're like, well, this was for LGBTQ pride something. And I'm like, look, I know a lot of gay people, and they would all say this is a hideous outfit. Okay. They're much more stylish and fashionable than this mess that they're out there flaunting on the ice. It was awful. And what an atrocious look.
I didn't get a good look at it.
Perez, you didn't see it because it looked like two.
I saw it on your Instagram story.
It looked like two traffic cones dancing. I mean, it was hideous. Awful.
Here we go. I'm looking at it now. Let me see. Although I don't even, oh yeah, but I love it. It's very gay. It's very disco. It's very like ABBA Dancing Queen.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Muriel's Wedding. I like it. It's even got fucking feathers on it.
It has feathers, yeah. What a wreck. But they were good.
I do not understand ice dancing. Like, we already have figure skating. Why have ice dancing?
Well, and there's different categories too. It's like free dance and
rhythm
dance. Yeah. And whatever. The two, the Russians, actually, the two Russians are fantastic. They had the best dance, I thought. The Americans are good, but the Americans are great because these two, they're a couple, right? And she's telling the story on TV that, they'd been skating for like 5 years together. And he was like, one day, like, I'm in love with you. And she's like, oh, I guess I feel the same way too, which just told me, no, she didn't. So it's weird. Like, they are a couple, they're together constantly, they're in business together and they skate. And you're like, is this hot? I don't know. It's very weird. And I don't like how they make her up either. They give her this very dark and militant look, and then you see her interviewed. She's so pretty and almost soft, and it was like, oh, I'd like to see her. I'd like to see a different look. But as you can tell, I'm very into the Olympics this year.
I mean, I usually am, but maybe I'll start watching. I'm going to watch because I'm so invested in the story. I'm going to watch the women's figure skating
I'm also into the girl from Ocala. What's her name? Erin, the speed skater. She's badass. She won. She just was cranking last night. She was really good. I watched her after the Super Bowl.
There's just something about like also knowing, like, my job, social media. So I find out the results before it airs. And when you already know who wins, it takes away the drama. You know?
Kellen looks it up too, and she knows what's happening. And I'm like, I wouldn't even think to go online to look. Like, I don't care.
No,
I just
I'm
want to
not
watch
even,
it. Like,
I'm
yeah,
not
you just
looking it
see
up
it,
ahead
right?
of
You
time.
see
It's
the
just,
celebrations and right,
or somebody's trending or whatnot.
right.
Anyways, let's get right to Kanye West. So much Kanye to talk about. It's weird because you would argue that people don't care about Kanye. But on the day of the Super Bowl and with the Olympics also going on, Kanye was trending more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say about that?
Well, people love a train wreck. Okay, people will always watch a train wreck. And everyone knows who he is. I don't know if that means people are very invested in him. It's just like you always say, people love drama. This is drama. It's a family imploding and it's ugly and it's nasty. And, people like to celebrate that. They like to go to this garbage pail called online and they go there and they assemble and they pile on and they got to give their 2 fucking cents. And that's what's happening. So does that mean they care about someone? I don't know. I think maybe those are two different things. They're enjoying the drama, but do they really care about Kanye? If they did, they wouldn't participate. So that's my answer.
All right. Well, for some reason, Kanye included me in the drama, which I was so thankful for.
He was so excited.
It made my year. It's also bizarre to me. Kanye posted me on his Instagram. He took a screenshot of a video that I posted about my True 10, my CBD gummies.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't even talking about him in that
Oh, you
video.
weren't?
No.
I thought he was commenting on one of the clips, one of the clips that we pushed out this week, and I was sort of pro Kanye. Remember, my whole rap was last week was that, look, just take down the fucking TikTok.
All right,
and I was on his side. So my assumption was that got to him and he's like, yeah, Perez is on my side. Meanwhile, you're not. You've been against him the whole time. And I'm the one fucking person that was like, hey, let's give the guy a break on this one.
I'm going to be really honest with you all because I like being honest.
Okay.
For the last few days prior to that, I had been trolling Kanye. So whenever he would post something on Instagram, I would leave like a ridiculous comment. I wasn't being mean or nasty,
right?
But I was leaving like a stupid comment. So like the day before, he posted some photo of a guy that had like a face tattoo. And I said, I remember what I wrote. I don't remember what I wrote on all the other ones, but I said, oh, you should get a face tattoo, Kanye. Kim loves face tattoos now, I hear. Something stupid like that. So maybe he just saw one of my comments on one of his posts.
Yeah.
And he posted me on his Instagram and he wrote the following. He said, Perez, I want my family back. Sending love to you and all your staff. I thank you in advance for your support. And he deleted that within an hour, which upset me so much.
But you got your screen grab. I told Perez, I was like, who cares if he takes it up or down? I mean, it's a litany of garbage that he sends out all day long. Like, who's going to be digging back to find it? Nobody.
Yeah. Well, he did address that. He's like, people complain that I post 20 times a day, but a media outlet or a channel or whatever will post 20 times a day and people aren't criticizing them. I mean,
you're like the apples and oranges, Kanye.
Well, he's like, I'm a very image.
You're not a media outlet.
he's trying to control his image is what he's trying to do.
I don't think he knows what he's trying to do, to be honest with you.
He even posted photos yesterday of himself holding a sign saying my account was not hacked. It's really me. One of my favorite things though is like, well, he went and he had his Sunday service and then he took two of his kids, I believe, to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And Judd Apatow, the writer director, was seated like a couple of rows behind Kanye, but was able 2 rows behind Kanye and could hear Kanye talking. And he totally, outed Kanye. He said that Kanye was because Kanye was wearing a mask at the Super Bowl. covering his face, and he was having a hard time breathing, and he was complaining to his friend. He's like, yo, we should have put more vents in here or whatever. And then eventually he did take the mask off.
Yeah.
And it was just ridiculous. I mean, there's just so much Kanye. It's exhausting. Kanye is the new Britney. And what's interesting is I highly doubt we will see Kanye West put in a conservatorship. I'm not saying I think he needs one, but a lot of people out there are saying that. However, we live in a society, in a system where I think things like that happen to women more often. We're not going to see Kanye put in a conservatorship, in a psychiatric hold.
Wait a minute. Back up. So why to women more often? I don't understand
because
that rap.
Of
Like,
the
let me say something.
Okay, but the patriarchy.
Okay, but a lot of people say that, it was sexist that Britney Spears was put into a hold or whatever. Britney Spears, if she was a man, would be dead. She'd be dead. Okay, because usually a man, they wouldn't come to a man's aid or help. They would let him run off like they're letting Kanye run off. Okay, somebody had the wherewithal to say, hey, this woman's in distress. That's a good thing that happened to her. I think it may have saved her life. Okay, you don't think what was going on with her could have ended her life? I think it possibly could have. So this whole thing that like some man is keeping her down, some people got together and decided to help save this woman's life. Okay, that's why they emergency put her in one in the first place. Like, I don't really necessarily believe that rap in this case for Kanye. It does,
So you don't. All right. So you're
because Kanye has endangered himself or anyone? That is my question that I asked to anyone.
He has repeatedly made violent threats.
He's repeatedly online saying stupid shit. Okay, that whether they're violent or not, you're not the judge and jury on that. You're just not. He's never claimed that he's going to hurt someone or he's going to kill someone.
He literally has threatened violence repeatedly against Pete Davidson.
I think these two high school kids. Well, I shouldn't say that about Pete because I don't see him participating as much. I mean, he's a stand-up comedian.
He doesn't.
Right. He's going to make like he's going to make jokes about it because he's a comedian. That's what he does. But I don't see anything at a level where anyone's concerned for Pete Davidson's safety in anything that Kanye's doing. Kanye's acting a fool. That's what Kanye's doing. Okay. Now, is he doing anything that's threatening harm to himself or his family? I haven't seen that. I don't know. And if people want to claim that, that's cool. I'm not keeping up with it because I have this thing called a fucking life. So I'm not really like out like wondering what Kanye's up to every 5 seconds. But you can't just throw that out there like they're going to throw him in a conservatorship, like, and it's because it's sexist. Like, what? I don't understand that rap. I'm sorry.
Do you think Kanye is going to be placed in a conservatorship?
Do I think? I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what's real, what's him acting a fool. Is there any harm that he's threatened upon himself or anyone around him? He seems to be very much in control of everything that he's doing. And I haven't seen him out on the 101, driving in the wrong direction with kids in the car. I haven't heard of anything like that. I've heard of him I've never heard of him breaking the law. I've never heard of him fighting someone. I've never heard anything that warrants him.
Well, he did attack that paparazzo.
Yeah. Well, I've seen how the paparazzo behaves sometime, and I don't necessarily think it's not that I would ever condone violence, but I can understand why he may go after someone. Those people they have no tact, they have no class, and they're there to try to egg you on. They're pieces of shit, mostly. I've been around some of these people. They're awful. They just want their picture. They're leeches. So, once again, I don't think that's a great example.
All right. Well, Kanye has been all over the place and exhausting.
That is not debatable. Yeah.
from everything to demanding that Billie Eilish apologize to Travis Scott or he wouldn't perform at Coachella. I'm like, don't perform at Coachella. Don't perform.
So, right.
Thankfully, Billie Eilish did not apologize. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
She gave a fan an inhaler and she didn't even mention Travis Scott. She just said, she said something along the lines of like, here we go. I wait for people to be okay until I keep going.
Yeah. She saw something and did something. She did the right thing. It didn't mention anything. She just reacted to a situation that happened to her. Now, Kanye wants an apology. Once again, it's nonsensical. Wasting time on watching all of these moves is like, I feel badly for you that this is what your weekend is. You're sitting there participating and trolling people, and it just seems like a pathetic existence to me. I mean, it was a beautiful sunny weekend. I mean, get outside, enjoy yourself, turn off the phone.
Outside. I don't buy that. I had a great weekend.
All right.
Kanye was also dissing Kid Cudi, saying he won't be on the new Donda 2 album because of his friendship with Pete Davidson and yada, yada, yada. Oh my God. Kanye is having a show next week in Miami. And allegedly his new album is going to be ready by next week. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, in a way, does music even matter? Like Donda, the first Donda.
You're right on. Where you're going is exactly right. The music at this point is a sideshow.
Yeah.
And it's so unfortunate because this guy was such an incredible producer and he made such interesting, cutting edge. He made such advances up when everybody was doing one thing and, sampling and doing over and over. Kanye was very inventive and did some really wild things and, made some amazing 808 and Heartbreaks is just one of the best albums ever. And it was all really imaginative. And that's why we're talking about him, because he gave us such great art. It don't even gives a shit what's going to come out next. No one's even going like, hey, I'm interested to hear it. It just is lost in the crap of the mountain of shit that comes out of him. It's, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how you keep up. I don't know why you'd want to keep up. Like it's all just nonsensical ridiculousness to me.
I had this random thought right now as you were talking. In a way, it's really fascinating how Snoop Dogg has kind of elevated himself over the years. Like, here we go. Oh my God, this is kind of like the perfect analogy. Kanye is kind of like Madonna and Snoop Dogg is kind of like Celine Dion. Celine and Snoop have both elevated themselves and their legacy so much, whereas Madonna and Kanye, they still have their past, but it's like everything that they're doing now isn't really elevating that, I think.
Yeah.
Anyways, Kid Cudi responded saying he doesn't care if he's not on the album and blah, 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 blah. He even was like bringing Ariana Grande into all this drama and Mac Miller. He shared this rumor that's not confirmed that allegedly Pete Davidson sent Mac Miller some nude photos of Ariana Grande to kind of dissuade Mac Miller from getting back together with Ariana. Alleged, I don't know, but Kanye was posting that, and he even released a new song.
That's awful. Yeah, that's just disgusting, to be honest with you. It's just a fucking disgusting. That's my point. Like, at some point, Perez, don't you put your fucking hands up and go, I'm done talking about this fuck? Like, that's disgusting. Even if it's true, it's disgusting.
People are the ones to decide, and I don't think people are quite there yet.
Okay, fair enough. I think it's just, I think everyone is aware of the sideshow that's happening, but I don't think anyone is invested in the sideshow that's happening. I think, there's it's like, look, there's a fire raging. Okay. You can't go, hey, that fire's not there. You know it. You're not sure why it started. You're not sure if they're fighting it. You're not even sure, but you're like, you know that the fire's happening. And I think that's kind of where people are, like delving into the nuances of it, how it started, who was the person that did it. I don't think people are invested. I guess that's where I am with this, because I'm starting to fade. I'm faded Kanye on this one.
It might be just you. I don't know. He even released a new song. You probably didn't even hear it.
Didn't even know about it.
Yeah, he released
first I'm hearing about it, to my point.
He released a new song with Alicia Keys on it, called City of Gods.
And that used to be that would be an event. Now I didn't even know. So
yeah, and
clutter. Too much clutter.
I think I perceive this as threatening violence against Pete Davidson. One of the lyrics of Kanye in this new song with Alicia Keys, he says, "This afternoon, 100 goons pull." Can I say that word?
Goons, sure.
I don't know.
It's his word. I mean,
if I don't know if that. Anyways, I apologize. If I'm not supposed to say that word. This afternoon, 100 blank pulling up to SNL. When I pull up, it's dead on arrival.
Not a threat. It's a dumbass lyric in a song.
All right. Kanye and that girlfriend of his, Julia Fox, are over and done.
I called it. I said 2 weeks ago. I told you that wasn't going to last. You're like, I don't know. She's riding the wave of this. And I'm like, nah, this is ending soon.
I'm
sure. It was maybe 3 weeks ago, actually. But yeah, I told you that wasn't going to last.
They lasted 4 to 5 weeks, but she got a lot out of it, man.
Yeah, sure.
She got a lot out of it. He's spending time now with this new model who literally looks like a Kim Kardashian clone. Like, he's been taking her around town, and it looks like it's the Kim Kardashian, but it's
really
not.
Yeah, well, there's a whole sect of women that look like that now, that just paint on that war look, and you're like, it's funny when you see it. You're like, what the? I saw it in Calabasas. I went out there. COVID's over, by the way. Friday night, I went to get sushi at the Commons out in Calabasas. I basically had to park in fucking Burbank. I mean, it was insane how many people were out. And it's funny going up. This is one specific restaurant by the sushi place that I was picking up from, and it's just, everyone kind of has that look. You know what I mean? Like, it's that, I guess I can't explain how you would paint that on that Barbie doll, whatever the fuck it is. And you see multiple people with it. You're like, wow, this is fucking pathetic. But you really don't know what they look like. If they took off their makeup, there'd be no way you'd be able to go, oh, that person's that person. Like, you'd never be able to do it. It's funny.
Kim Kardashian's impact. And while, there's all the drama going on between Kanye and Kim, he seems to be in a better place with the family. He had a listening event for the new Donda 2 album, and he invited Travis Scott and Kendall Jenner, so they showed up there.
Okay, so if they're doing that, are you sure he's just not providing content? It's what they like. It's what they want. And
I would think so, but children are involved.
Like, that matters to them. Come on. I don't think it matters. And are they dragging the kids into any of this? I mean, really? Seriously?
I mean, North goes to a regular school, and I'm sure her classmates.
But I'm just saying, like, dad just took the kids to the Super Bowl. Okay. Like, that seems pretty normal. Like, if you were a normal Joe, that's something you would do. You take your kid to the Super Bowl. If I had kids, I'd take my kid to the Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't seem all wackadoodle. It seems manageable, is what I'm saying. So it's just, I just wonder how much of this is content, how much of this is put on.
Definitely think
I don't know.
real.
I just wonder. I mean, I don't really.
I don't think Kim Kardashian is having a fake relationship with Pete Davidson.
No, I buy that. I'm sure she's moved on.
Yeah.
But that doesn't shock me. She moves on every 3 to 4 years with somebody. It's like, okay, that's standard operating procedure from everything I've seen over the course of the past decade and a half of this, nonsense family.
I wish them well. And actually, Kim Kardashian celebrated Valentine's Day in New York City with Pete Davidson.
Well, it
So
hasn't happened yet.
she was in New York City over the weekend with Pete Davidson. I'm sure that's why she was there. God.
People often ask what I'm watching on TV, so I wanted to keep everybody up on what I am going through right now. I just started Inventing Anna, and it's Ruth from Ozark, who, by the way, is married to Mark Foster of Foster the People. I didn't know that, but it took me like halfway through an episode to realize it was Ruth, or whatever her name is. I don't know what her real name is. She's just Ruth to me. But it's really, it's based off of a true story about the socialite in New York that was a part of this scheme to launder money and this and that, whatever. But they've made it fun, and they've made it like young and interesting. But I at first I was like, this is gonna suck, and I'm really enjoying it. So if you guys want to check that show out, Inventing Anna, is pretty fucking good.
I actually saw her give an interview recently. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but
It's good. It's really fun. That's what it is. It's like a fun, like, where are they going? It's good. It's really good.
All right, on to Wendy Williams. Oh boy. So there was a lot of drama going on with Wendy Williams over her finances because her bank, Wells Fargo, froze her out, not giving her access to her own money, which is crazy to me and kind of unheard of, but I sort of understand. And now we have a little bit more context about why that happened. She was working, Wendy, with this financial advisor, this woman named Lori Schiller, who for some reason felt compelled to tell Wells Fargo that Wendy was not of sound mind.
Right.
So had this financial advisor not told Wells Fargo anything, I don't think they would have taken any actions. In the court, okay, so, but what's weird, here's where it gets sketchy. This woman was fired by Wendy. So I think, the financial advisor might just be bitter and trying to create drama, or she might be genuinely concerned.
Yeah, it could very well be that, especially look, if there's other people that have access to your funds and you're not in the best state of mind. I mean,
allegedly, I don't know. Wendy went to the court to complain about this, and a judge issued a restraining order against her bank. So they now have to reopen any frozen accounts or assets.
Oh, wow.
And it's also been announced that she is not coming back to her show at all this year. She hasn't been on at all. I think that's unheard of. I really like, for a daytime talk show host to take the entire year off. It's wild.
I mean, she's not on vacation. She's obviously dealing with problems. So what are they going to do? Fire her because she has?
No, I'm not saying fire her. I'm just saying it's wild. Like, it's unprecedented.
Yeah.
But what should happen in the fall?
Well, they already have a host for the rest of the season, right? They
allegedly, Sherry Shepherd. Yes.
Yeah. I saw that. I don't know if I read it or saw it, but yeah.
But what should happen for the fall? I mean, can you do 2 years of the Wendy Williams show without Wendy Williams?
I think it all just depends on what the contract of like how many years they had picked it up for. Like the networks are expecting that show for whatever allotment of time. So they're providing that show. I don't know if the individual stations could put their hands up and say, well, we didn't sign up for this. We signed up for Wendy. I'm sure they could weasel themselves out of it individually, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like a huge ratings boon for anyone. You know what I mean? Like these TV channels just want content. They just want things on. You know, I don't think they necessarily care what's on sometimes. So I think it just has to do with the deal. That'd be my guess.
Well, I wish Wendy well, and hopefully she can return to her show sooner than later. All right, on to other news from Wendy Williams to more TV related news. I'm surprised that it took this long. The Dr. Phil show is in the headlines.
My girlfriend used to work there.
Yeah, it's in the headlines because of alleged being a toxic workplace, and I'm like, nobody's shocked by that. We've known that.
It's I don't understand like why. I feel like the story comes up once a year, right? Like maybe once a year we put this out there. Like, why does it continuously keep coming up? Is it based on old things? Is it still happening? What's the purpose of whomever's throwing it out there? Nothing changes. You know what I mean? Like I guess I just don't understand.
Well, it's these journalists, going out and seeking attention for,
is that all it is? It's
digging.
Just,
they're looking. Yeah. They're trying to get answers for their story and blah, 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 blah. All right. In other TV related news, we have the cause of death for Bob Saget, and
that's insane.
Very unexpected and sad. He died of brain trauma. He had somehow struck his head against
his head.
Something, but more than bump. It was more than a bump because he had skull fractures. Like, I mean, I guess, does your skull get softer as you get older? I don't know. But yeah, he had multiple skull fractures and he ended up dying from a brain bleed.
Wow.
So very, 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 very sad.
I didn't hear the part about multiple skull fractures, though. I thought maybe he just had, kind of cracked it pretty good, but maybe he did just once hit it on something and it's that breakable. It's just awful that's how it happened.
And there were no drugs or alcohol found in his body at the time of his death. Just wanted to also put that out there. Even more TV related news. Adele performed at the Brit Awards and was wonderful. Loved that performance. She also, I don't even know. This might be one of those situations of like fake outrage. Although I could understand how some people interpret it as maybe not even hurtful, but dismissive.
Okay.
She accepted the award for Best Artist, which they didn't used to have a Best Artist award. They used to have Best Male and Best Female. Mm-hmm. And now they're trying to be more inclusive because there are artists out there like British artist Sam Smith that does not identify as male or female. Sam Smith goes by they, them pronouns like Demi Lovato, mm-hmm. and doesn't identify according to any, is non-binary. So Adele said the following when accepted her award. She said, "I understand why the name of this award has changed, but I love being a woman and being a female artist. I do. I'm really proud of this. I really, really am." And a lot of folks thought that was dismissive or transphobic or whatever.
Okay.
No,
I'm just going to say no. Her words are her words. She's proud to be a woman and representing women, and women in the world admire her and look up to her, and she is a powerhouse. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, "I am a woman, hear me roar." And that's not dismissing any other sect of life. It's not. She's talking about herself.
Well,
She's not talking about anybody else. She's talking about herself.
I do sort of understand, like it the way she framed it, it was like almost saying like, oh, I wish we hadn't changed this. Does that make sense?
No. She didn't say that. I'm a big fan of using people's actual words and applying the meaning to them. She said, I'm proud to be a woman, and I'm glad to be. I miss being in a category, and I heard what she said.
Okay.
You're trying to make it something else. You're trying to I don't think she's being dismissive of anything. She's pointing out that she's a woman, and there's other women in the world, and she's proud of her and them and whatever.
I get that. You can be proud of all of that. I just think how she expressed that.
She doesn't owe it to any fucking body to express it any other way. She's talking about herself. She doesn't need to be, she doesn't need to be worrying about everybody else. She's literally talking about herself.
Okay. Let me just read one more time briefly. She said, I understand why the name of this award has changed, but
change gears. She even put some light on, hey, for whatever reason, great that you've changed the name of the award. However, I am not that. I am me. I am a woman, and I'm proud to represent women. That's all she's saying to me. People want to dissect it. Look, like I always say, go get a fucking job. There's bigger problems in the fucking world than worrying about that. Can't break.
All right. She also appeared on the Graham Norton show, and she talked about her Vegas residency, and she claims that the dates will happen this year. It'll be interesting to see if that does happen. She also wouldn't confirm or deny that she's engaged to Rich Paul, the agent dude. She did say she wants to have more children. So yeah, Adele's being very chatty. She also hit up a gay club in London and got wasted. And everybody watched her get wasted. She was like Adele when she drinks, like she drinks. Oh my God.
And I bet that cackle is awesome. Her laughing the whole time. I'd pay to see that.
It was funny. All right. Well, let's take some calls.
All right.
Hello, Perez and Booker. My name is Alejandro, and I'm calling from Washington, D.C. And I do have a question for Perez. I would like to know if you got a chance to listen to Christina Aguilera EP called La Fuerza, and if so, what are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, Christina released a Spanish language EP, and I did not get a chance to listen. Oh, I'm sure I could have made the time, but I just didn't. I don't know.
Too busy wondering what Kanye's up to.
Right now, actually, Kanye West is trending on Twitter under the hashtag Kanye West is over party.
Yeah. I started that hashtag for the record. Here we go.
Hey guys, just wanted to ask if you all ever pay any attention to Azalea Banks. She does some pretty crazy stuff on our Instagram. Was recently talking about Kanye West and Fox. She was making fun of Julia Fox's bad pool sculpting. She was talking about how Kanye's rants are opioid withdrawals or maybe heroin withdrawals. Do you think there's any facts to that? I know she says some pretty crazy stuff. Just curious. Love the show. Thanks, guys.
I don't think most people are paying attention to Azalea Banks. I'm surprised you are.
That's my favorite answer you've given this whole show. That's pretty good. Who cares what she says? She's like a troll on steroids. She is Kanye. She
is.
It's, we're just done with her.
It's a shame because she is so talented, but she sabotaged her own career repeatedly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hi, Perez. Hi, Booker. Perez, I'm a long time OG blog reader. I've been listening to your podcast since the beginning. Booker, I love you too. I just wanted to know what both of your thoughts were on the trucker convoy in Ottawa. I live in Ottawa. I'm calling from Canada. And I was just curious to get the American perspective on it because it's pretty great. Anyways, love you guys. Love listening to your show. Keep doing what you're doing. Much love from Canada. Bye.
I mean, my thoughts are like this. If a bunch of truckers all gathered at the entrance of LAX airport, peacefully protesting but blocking entry to the airport, I would be pissed as fuck. I'm like, protest, but don't block my ability to get to the fucking airport.
Yeah.
So like, you know, why can't they just set up their trucks outside of the head of the government there in Canada or somewhere symbolic and just fucking camp out there? But they're like interfering with things.
Yeah.
And that's what I have an issue with. I totally support their right to protest, but when their right to protest interferes with others and business, then I find that problematic.
Yeah. They're protesting. If they were on the side, no one would care. No one would pay attention. And they're trying to get people to pay attention. I don't.
But you know, all right, fine. I'm
not invested in their plight is all I was going to say.
That's a great point that you make. But also the American perspective, if that happened going back to my analogy, if the truckers rolled up and blocked entrance to the airport, they would have been arrested in less than an hour. All of them. Tanks
would have cleared them out.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of government I like to see working. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're impeding me from doing what I need to be doing, and I'm trying to, you know, live my life, and you get in the way, I got no problem with them coming in guns ablazing. Even get the fuck out of the way. I got somewhere to be. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. The world's upside down. It really is. It's. I think COVID has taken everybody's last nerve. I think people have lost patience and perspective, and it's just the Wild West everywhere. I don't think it's just America. I think it's everywhere.
I fully I don't know, because I go to like a progressive liberal school, but at the same time, even in Los Angeles, there are conservative people, right?
Sure.
There are Republicans here, and just not even independents, whatever.
Half of my neighbors are very, very conservative, you know?
So like, if and when LA County says you don't need to wear masks in schools anymore, but if my kid's school says we're still going to do it, like I expect shit to pop off. It's like,
right. People just, you know, people are unable to say, I need to step back. And the person that decided for the greater good and the safety of our children. Well, and that's it. Like, just look at it that way. But people can't. They won't. Their rights.
You know, what's interesting is I was having a conversation with a conservative, and they're smart when they like dodge questions or divert, right? So I was like, in America, when you're in your car, the law says you have to put your seatbelt on. But I would imagine that a conservative principle or a Republican principle is, well, I don't want the government telling me what to do. If I don't want to put my seatbelt on, I shouldn't have to put my seatbelt on. But I don't fucking see Republicans trying to repeal seatbelt laws. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's not even, you know, people really have to delve into why we have seatbelts on. It is for your safety, and it's a fact. If you wear one, you're safer. And take it to the next step. When you get in an accident, you have to go somewhere, and someone has to take care of you. You've put that on them. If you just click that thing, you have a better chance of not even seeing that person. You're taxing the system. Then, you know, an ambulance comes, then the police come, and then the traffic is stopped. Back to our conversation a second ago. You've impeded me from getting to where I need to be, and it pisses me off. So just put the fucking seatbelt on. It's easier. Like, if there were just people that could speak to people logically and just say that, well, this is the way that it is. And let's not argue about this. Let's go find something important to argue about. but we're dealing with stupid people. Stupid people get caught in the mud of stupid shit, and they get distracted by it, and they're on and on and on with the same points. It's just dumb. It's like, move on to something important. The world's up. It's crazy. We've lost all logic and sanity in this country. I can't speak for other countries. I'm not there, but I feel like we've lost it here.
Well, I
completely.
definitely am over. I'm over everything COVID. I'm over it.
So is everybody, but it is what it is. And that's what you have to say. You know, I fucking got out of my car, walked all the way into the store the other day without my fucking mask. And I'm still pissed off. I'm like, God damn it. You'd think after 2 years I would remember my mask, but you know what? I'm going to get my mask and I'm going to do it. And that's just it. And it's over with, you know, some people are like, fuck it. I'm just going in. All right, let's wrap it up then.
Let's take. We only took one.
I don't know
call.
if I have it. We took 3 calls.
My name is
did?
Nancy Van Landingham.
I thought we just took the truck.
Stop talking.
Nevada, and I'm old enough to be your grandma, but I love you guys. You make my day. I have real fun listening to you. Don't go away. Don't change anything. But Booker, be a little easier on Fox News. I'm a good Republican woman. I'm a nice conservative girl. Pick on CNN for a while. Love you, boys. Bye-bye.
I will say this to you. They're both full of shit. One is for the left and one is for the right. And they're all biased. And I will acquiesce to that all day long. And if you're getting anything out of me that suggests that I am like some rah-rah CNN fan, I think CNN blows. Okay. I think it used to be a great channel, and now it's just turned into pundits talking about this and that. And Don Lemon sucks. There's just so many people on the guy they fired sucked. I think there's so many. Anderson's pretty good. I will say I still like Anderson Cooper. He does go out of his way to try to get things right, but I think most of them blow. So if that makes you feel any better, but Fox News is a fucking joke. I mean, you've got to realize the what they put out there. It is just, it's entertainment. It's meant to rile you up and scare people. And it seems like you understand it and you're cool with it, but they're both fucking terrible. They're both warts on the ass of a toad. They're awful. So there you go.
Oh yeah. Thankfully, I don't consume any of that.
Oh, it's terrible. It's just bad television. It used to be the news. It just used to be the news. Now you don't even know where to get the fucking news anymore. It's just everything's so fucked up. It's just, welcome to the world.
All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you. Our number to call, 800-721-1185. That's 800-721-1185. Happy Valentine's Day. Unhappy Valentine's Day. Both are totally
Happy Valentine's Day.
That already passed. But
that has passed. You're right.
Have a great week. We'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Take care, peeps.